Boom. This is Hiko Simon here. Quick stream, probably quick. One, to mention that there's no Tokyo tonight because instead of that, 30 minutes earlier than the usual 10:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time Tokyo Tonight, 40 minutes from now, on Gimmeabreakman's channel, we are going to be doing 2.5 Oyajis on the topic of the week. Good to see. Wow, we've got Split Fries 69 here and Queer and Aaron in here. Great to see you both. Yeah, just here to give the heads up that I'm going to be over on Gimmeabreakman starting in 40 minutes, and we are going to be doing probably set aside like 2 hours. Victor has even gone and bought a microphone for this. It's a big deal. He's very pumped. He's actually gone and bought the same type of microphone that I have. So hopefully our audio will be consistent. I mean, a new microphone. What could go wrong? Whoa, Tai Nakamura, great to see you. And amazing. Everyone in America is up super early. I guess this is what the Oriental Pearl Chris Abroad drama does. Ninjaroo 882. Man, I should just always do my streams spontaneously like this. So yeah, I'm on here. One, definitely go. The link is in the description for the thing tonight. Because of that, I'm not doing a Tokyo tonight. But that said, wow, got Ida Denmark. Great to see a working microphone. It might be too much for the internet to handle. I'm looking forward to giving my thought. Wow, this topic has. I mean, who would have thought there would have been YouTuber drama, let alone, you know, J-vlogger. I hesitate to use the word J-vlogger because I don't really consider. And I don't mean this in a putting down way, but Chris Broad was never really a J-vlog. He was around when there were J-vloggers, but he was always doing his own sort of thing, in which is a very good thing. He's one of the few actual Japan-based YouTubers I subscribe to. But you know, he wasn't in the community and in the drama and all that sort of stuff per se. And Oriental Pearl, who I guess I'd seen her videos before, or I knew about her existence, but I hadn't really seen her videos. And I mean, what do I need to? I walk through Japan and, you know, see stuff every day, so I don't need to really see her videos per se. So they've never really been that interesting to me. But this drama, of course, kicking off, it's been really, really interesting. So we're going to be talking about it in our video 40 minutes from now, going through all the angles. Victor is very excited. He's found basically so many channels talking about this, and not just in Japan. As Aaron was talking about yesterday, Hassan Piker was talking about this. Like, this is kind of gone global. And it makes me wonder, why did we lose all the drama in the first place? I mean, you know, I suppose it's the way that YouTube sort of became, and it makes me reflect. It's kind of nice because it's exactly through people getting in and, you know, one, Chris Broad himself, starting with him, sharing kind of a personal opinion that I would expect him to have, but not share publicly, and even being quite vulnerable in his videos. You know, he actually showed a lot of vulnerability and some of his sort of insecurity stuff. I honestly, even if I thought, I would say, dude, do not say that stuff. And likewise, Oriental Pearl, I've gone back and forth with her, you know. So first I thought, well, I know I'm not going to like her. And then I watched her. I thought, well, she's not that bad. And then I found out little bits and pieces, like she photoshopped her her thumbnail to show more graffiti and stuff like that. And I don't know where I'm at right now. So it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to talk about all the angles. Victor's going to talk about all the commentary that he's found and his thoughts on that. We've had fun making memes on Sora around this, which Victor posted one of them. But that's a thing. So in terms of what's going on in Japan, probably won't be time for an after party tonight. But that said, a different format. I'm just going to quickly show. I was going through my news, and normally I go tweet these and set this up and go through the Tokyo Tonight thing. But I'm just going to go through what I would be talking about, but I don't really have the time for. Maybe there's something here that's interesting. Just a general thing that, yes, fewer people paying taxes for more people on welfare and so on. And even if they reduce the number of, you know, people who can get pensions and so on, just the whole idea that the pressure for Japan for young people to work more and more. Seriously, I kind of want my son to immigrate. Nissan, which is kind of tanking lately. Honestly, a lot of people are saying, is this company even going to survive out the year? But they've made some battery which can double the distance and charge faster. So that's kind of cool. These solid state batteries. Toyota has a bunch of these things as well, even though the government was having everyone chase hydrogen. Yeah, pretty cool that they've got this new tech. This is kind of becoming a trend now. First, we have campaigns promoting international relations and exchanges with African countries, and people on the internet went crazy saying this is going to increase African immigration. and the whole program got cancelled. And now Aichi, where Nagoya is promoting special information on promoting travel by vegans and Muslims, basically promoting different types of how to accommodate dietary needs and so on. And again, lots of people going crazy saying that, oh, you're going to turn them all into immigrants and terrorists. So again, there's just a bunch of really stupid racist people on the internet, where a very small number of people are having this voice. And because Japan has this kind of consensus orientation, where everybody has to agree for something to be done, and they'll torpedo things, even if one crazy person torpedoes it. And typically that's been hard to sort of do in the past. But yeah, lately online activists in Japan, very small numbers of very bad, stupid people that should be kind of put down, not like dogs, but put down, told you're bad and we shouldn't listen to you, are not being, instead they're running things. And that is a little bit disturbing, because that is a kind of a weird trend that is happening in a lot of places. So that's a thing. Starlink services coming available via SoftBank and Docomo. That's super cool. The satellite internet. A lot of places in Japan, a lot of islands and mountains where it's hard to get mobile service. So that's super cool. They're adding a Godzilla to Haneda Airport, which I would go so far as to say, I always thought that Singapore Changi Airport was the best airport in the world. Haneda Airport lately, for me, is the best airport in the world. You get through it really fast. It's a fantastic airport. Now it has a Godzilla as well. I mean, I don't know how they could make it any better. It's really easy to get to. It's a fantastically efficient, and it just makes going to Narita, which by international standards isn't a bad airport, but it just sucks going through it. So that's a thing. Take a photo of this because, Sanae Takaichi, her cabinet approval rating right now 65%. That's not going to last. However, 60% of people think that the problem of all of the hidden money and the money politics of the LDP, which she is kind of an apologist for, is a problem. So yeah, that's gonna come back and haunt her. It's kind of to me, it's annoying but kind of normal that Oji-sans, that middle-aged men, might call women in the office chan. Chan is an expression you use basically for babies. But some people will attach like cute girls, like hey babe. It's literally like saying hey baby to someone in Japanese, putting that on the end. Occasionally, a senpai might say it to a male kohai, but it's really something that you'd say to a female, again, that you might have a crush, someone that you look at like they're an idol or something like that. And apparently a man who kept asking her questions about her underwear and kept calling her chan at work. Unfortunately, the chan thing, it's... like when I started working in Japan, it was kind of normal. I mean, I don't know how appropriate it is, but yeah, she sued and she's getting $36,000 from it. And it's at Sagawa, which knocked me over with the feather. Wouldn't happen at Yamato, but Sagawa sucks. So this seems consistent. What else we got here? We've got, yes, we're going to see what's going to happen with Takaichi. She's going to do a call with Trump probably this week, and not quite clear what she's going to do. Good article, Nippon.com, on just the history of women in Japan going from getting the vote in 1945. Took the war to end, I guess. Although I think there are places in Switzerland that gave the vote even later than that. So, not the latest in the world. But that said, for all this time, that even up until very recently, that people rightfully pointed out Japan on the UN Equality Index and so on doing so badly, but Japan still got its first woman prime minister in spite of the lack of women and difficulty of participation and everything. Even Japan got a prime minister, got a woman leader before certain other countries did. So there you go. Hey, Lara, good to see you. And Believe, nice to see you in there. Fascinating thing here. You imagine if you did these college surveys in any other country that I know, these statistics wouldn't be like that. But in Japan, there are certainly things. Again, if you ever want to know how people think about drugs here, they're wrong because they're illegal. And people don't even question, well, is it harmful? Is it harmless? What's the effect on other people? Especially when you consider the number of students that are either overseas students or Japanese who have studied overseas, who would probably start to think more about, should this be illegal or not? Apparently in Japan, this is hilarious. They did some sort of survey. Somebody did a survey. Who did the survey? 4 universities in Kansai did a survey of students and asked, is it ever okay to do drugs? And apparently 7.6% said the use is okay so long as it doesn't affect anyone else. And also exactly 7.6% of people said they could get such drugs. The 7.6% of students were summarily arrested and sent away for re-education, I'm sure. But yeah, 91 what was the number here? There's a 91% responded that under no circumstances should drugs ever be used or allowed, including cannabis, gummies, and stuff like that, which was a 2.2% increase from before. So Japanese is basically stuff is wrong because it's illegal. So again, in Japan, don't do drugs because they will put you away forever. The approval rate, again, take a snapshot of that. This isn't just a small thing, but traditionally Japanese, when they're babies, they might call their parents mama, papa, and then they'll switch to otosan, okasan, whatever, haha, chichi, Japanese words. But lately, teenagers just keep calling their parents, sometimes oyaji, but more often mama, papa, the same as traditionally what babies call their parents. However, that said, I'm in a papa family, definitely. So mama papa actually now being popular for teenagers. So I was worried that my son was being weird. I mean, maybe he is, but saying mama papa is relatively normal. So there we go. It's Tom, good to see you. Yeah, what else have we got in here? We've got Kyoto daki janai. Yeah, lots of domestic tourism is dropping everywhere. People worried about tourism falling. However, that said, people pointing out, one, most places are too crowded because, in the hotels, if they're worried, they should just cater to inbound tourists, to foreign tourists, because they're paying more. And it's the cost of hotels that's just making tourism impossible for Japanese people. I don't know why I'm blurry, by the way. It's like it's focusing on the curtains behind me. Come on, focus on me. Wow, the curtains behind me are really sharp. Now, okay, if I try to blend into the curtains, I'm sharper. I don't know what's on with the camera. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up super fast. But anyway, domestic tourism is suffering because everything's so expensive here, and I definitely feel that. Kind of an article here. It's behind a paywall, although I'm actually a member of the Patreon for Unseen Japan, and I recommend it. They're actually a really good site. The more moody thing, though, saying that it might be breaking the law, it is a thing when, in my job as a lawyer inside a Japanese company, hey, just a flesh wound X testing, your test is successful. That giving legal advice without being a lawyer in Japan is specifically against the bengoshi law in Japan. You have to be a bengoshi to give legal advice, which being a lawyer inside a Japanese company, that means that while I am doing internal legal tasks, I'm not allowed to give external. Sometimes we'll get customers of my business asking for legal advice, and I'll say, the correct answer is go get your own lawyer. We can't give you legal advice, but you might want to check this, and this, and check with your lawyer. So the idea that giving services that help people quit, to me, apparently there's been a complaint brought by one of the legal societies that they're giving quasi-legal advice to people about how to quit or what their rights are. I think telling people their rights, just giving them informational stuff, is perfectly okay. I have a problem with the idea that, you could do the service in a way that could make it illegal, but basically, yeah, it is the advice I give to everybody. Always go see a proper lawyer for whatever you want to do. Don't ask a family friend or anything like that, because you end up in all sorts of trouble with that. But this whole thing that these things exist in the first place, basically, Japanese people don't know that they're allowed to quit. Literally, their companies tell them that they're not allowed to quit, or they're so anti-confrontational that they get these services to come and do this for them, and they go and do this indirectly, paying someone to go and quit. But it's because, they need the legal advice that says that you're allowed to voluntarily resign from your job. And people don't know that. It's crazy. Two more that we've got here. Japan, Gaijin Pod, saying that Japan is going to increase visa fees. This is partly why I have permanent residency. By the way, there's an interesting Sendai Ben. What's his YouTube channel name? Sendai Ben. Anyway, cool guy on Twitter and Blue Sky. He's Sendai Ben. He does a video, a vlog about investing, like, for example, using the NISA program and so on in Japan. He gives investment advice. And he is going to apply for becoming becoming a Japanese citizen later this year, and he's going to do video updates on that, which would be super cool. So that is a thing anyway. But yeah, fees for coming in and out, they're going up, but seriously, 3,000 yen, who really cares? Whoa, wait a minute. It says the fees will be brought. Oh, these are the fees for other countries. Oh, so we don't know what the fees are going to be yet. But wow, the fees this much. For what sort of visas? Currently, single entry visa, a jester. It's kind of funny. A ripoff of the American term for an ester is 3,000 yen. But in multiple entry, 6,000 yen. America wasn't that much. Well, anyway, Japan's going to be increasing. So if you want to come to Japan, you come sooner, it'll remain as cheap as it is now. Those are the main topics. Just the other thing, I two other things. One, the Mash battle result is going to be going up in 15 minutes on Tokyo Digital Crew again before 10 o'clock, so we can go over to 2.5 Oyajis and talk drama. And second thing is, lately I've had a lot of ideas bouncing around in my head that I'd like to do videos about, just talking about random stuff, not just the news and topics. I kind of do that anyway on Tokyo Tonight, but maybe I'm just going to leave this thought here, where I've noticed, I mean, it's kind of relevant in a way to some of the things that Chris said actually in the Oriental Pearl drama. It's really interesting to me when I started using Sora, which I tell you, I'm just enjoying. I'm having a ball on that thing. And not just on that, I use ChatGPT for coding, for work. I use LLMs and AI all the time. My DJing stuff, I think every part of my life has in some way been improved by improving technology. It's the thing I've always looked forward to the most in my life is, being alive to see all these sort of changes and not just happening at a steady pace, but increasing. But I also often think, as I have seen dramatic changes happen in the world, in Japan and outside of Japan through my life, how people are always very invested in doing things the way that they've learned. All the time that we invest in things becomes something that we attach to our self-worth and our identity. And, and it means that when things change in a way that seems to devalue that time that we've spent, that we've been learning something, it kind of hurts for a moment, right? And people react emotionally, and that emotion is kind of to dismiss or put down or say that thing is devaluing this. And I can think of this in so many contexts that I've encountered this in my life, and things that I've read about, like for example reading about in Japan when they brought in the first automated washing machines, and the first company that did this was in Kyushu, and the companies in Kyushu would actually run into men who were angrily trying to prevent the sales because they were worried it was going to make their wives lazy, which seems outrageous now. But, that's what women were supposed to do while they were working. And if you automated that, then, they're not going to be good wives anymore. And it's that's a kind of a traditional Japanese sexist, but I'm sure it wasn't just Japan that they had those reactions. When I think about the things that I like to do, including this sort of vlogging, what I think, going all the way back to the invention of the printing press or whatever, you must think that when people were sort of, disrupted by news, on the one hand, it led to this flood of new information. There was always this pattern that happened, just like when ChatGPT happened, we got flooded with haikus, that meant nothing. And then people saying, well, this is all just AI slop, and the internet is going to become overwhelmed with, sorry, I was distracted by Kevin Hunt saying that you can become a Japanese citizen or marry me. I don't think, well, good luck with either of those. But people were worried, and people were worried when the printing press came out. The governments really tried to censor writing, even back in the 16th century and 15th century. When novels came out, the turn of the century, people talked about the sort of slop and the brain rot. Used to be cheap novels. They used to be worried about kids literally on street corners reading novels, and then it became comics. And granted, we're definitely on a not a gentle slope. We're on a crashing glacier at the moment in terms of decline. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, what was considered brain rot 100 years ago is now considered, English literature. We now study novels, and that's partly because, there's still pulp fiction and crappy fiction and romance novels. But it turned out that if you give people easier access to publishing, some people actually use it for amazing things. Same when LLMs came out, people thought, well, what is this ever, a machine that just generates words, what is that ever going to be useful? That only came out 3 years ago. And right now, people, entire industries, including my own as a lawyer, is being completely disrupted. I can make programs and stuff like that. The DJing thing is a great thing, which I'll go into more depth because I see it as a real, as an analog for a lot of things that I like to talk about. But I really think this Chris Broad drama, he makes a comment. I agree with most things that Chris said, but there's a moment where he says, he said what he was feeling and thinking inside out loud, which he probably shouldn't have done. I'm going to have fun talking about this with Victor. I will talk about this with Victor. But he said that the fact that just, with all the love and effort that he puts into his amazing videos that I love and respect very much, the fact that someone else can just get a GoPro and point it at a piece of trash and make a video that makes a lot of money, why am I doing this? He actually vulnerably asks, why am I even doing this when someone else now can do it so easy, can do not something the same as what he does, but they can now do something so easily. And I was like, Chris, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You should always be making things easier to do. Yeah, and yes, it does take away. Just like more people won't be crafting videos as much because they're easier to make with all this new technology. I'm sure when the printing press came out, people used to do calligraphy for entire books, and I'm sure the people who did the calligraphy on books, it still had a value. It just wasn't needed for everything anymore. I'm sure they resented how easy it was to print and all the crap that got printed as a result. But I think, yeah, look, Chris, I like his stuff because it is the calligraphy of making videos, but you can't be angry at everybody who grabs a, GoPro and takes videos of dog shit. So we're going to go talk about that at the top of the hour and more things. I'm looking forward to seeing Victor just freak out. Victor's apparently changed his opinion completely since digging into this, and he wants me to not know anything about this and to react spontaneously to different reactions and insights that we've got. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a round table. This is going global. It's kind of thank you to Chris in a way for reviving the community. There's so many people talking about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come and join us in 20 minutes. Check out the result of the MASH battle. I saw that DJ Sunnyside Up. Whoop, whoop, you're in here. Thanks to everybody for joining. Well, 14 people, even though I just put this up spontaneously. That was 20 minutes. Short in Tokyo tonight. Let's go over for the fun now on the other channel. And yeah. Well, I think I can understand what happened with Chris. I think it sounds like he was getting pinged by lots of people asking, is Japan crooked, Chris? Which, nobody asks me that. So I can understand being annoyed by having to answer that, but I agree. I think he gave away a lot of stuff that I would have suggested he leave his internal monologue in his response. But he's allowed to have an opinion, just like, everybody's allowed to have an asshole. They're like opinions. You shouldn't necessarily share them with everybody. So that's the thing. Anyway, battle results coming up. I am going to go take out the trash and make myself beautiful. Looking forward. Everybody look out. Victor's got a new microphone. I predict 0 technical problems whatsoever. It's going to be an exciting and fun show. The community is back. Drama is back. It's awesome. So come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see you all in 20 minutes. Have a good one, everyone. Boom. Peace. Fast Tokyo tonight. Maybe I should do it like this more often. Also, sorry, no after party, but yeah, we'll get back and do those later. See ya.